Let's take a comfortable seat, either on the couch, a chair with the knees over the ankles, or seated on a cushion or the ground with the legs gently crossed. And let's take a couple moments to gently draw the eyes closed and allow ourselves to arrive here and now. Take a couple big breaths, just allowing yourself to fill the lungs completely on your inhales. And on your exhale, slowly release and let go. Doing a couple more like that, just really taking some big breaths in and out. Allowing your mind to feel the breath, to allow everything to drift away to the background of the mind. Just allowing the sensation of the breath to take over your awareness. Couple more big breaths. And eventually allow your body to simply breathe itself naturally, resuming a normal pace to your inhales and exhales. Take a couple moments to be with it. And as we're here, I would like to read you a poem today. So you can simply listen with your eyes closed if you'd like, or you can open them and watch me on the screen, whatever feels comfortable for you. So this poem I originally heard when I was listening to a lecture by Dr. Wayne Dyer. The poem is called The Cookie Thief, and it is by Valerie Cox. And it goes like this. A woman was waiting at an airport one night, with several long hours before her flight. She hunted for a book in the airport shops, bought a bag of cookies, and found a place to drop. She was engrossed in her book, but happened to see that the man sitting beside her, as bold as could be, grabbed a cookie or two from the bag in between, which she tried to ignore to avoid a scene. So she munched the cookies and watched the clock as the gutsy cookie thief diminished her stock. She was getting more irritated as the minutes ticked by, thinking, if I wasn't so nice, I would blacken his eye. With each cookie she took, he took one too. When only one was left, she wondered what he would do. With a smile on his face and a nervous laugh, he took the last cookie and broke it in half. He offered her half as he ate the other. She snatched it from him and thought, oh, brother. This guy has some nerve, and he's also rude. Why, he didn't even show any gratitude. She had never known when she had been so galled, and sighed with relief when her flight was called. She gathered her belongings and headed to the gate, refusing to look back at the thieving ingrate. She boarded the plane and sank in her seat, then sought her book, which was almost complete. As she reached in her baggage, she grasped with surprise. There was her bag of cookies in front of her eyes. If mine are here, she moaned in despair, the others were his, and he tried to share. Too late to apologize, she realized with grief that she was the rude one, the ingrate, the thief. It ends with a little saying, how many times in our lives have we absolutely known that something was a certain way, only to discover later what we believed to be true was not. So this was an interesting poem, especially the first time that I heard it. More along the lines of change and matter of perspective and how we go about kind of going into the world, but I want to almost reflect on something other than that question that was just posed, along the lines of service. So we're given 2 hands, 2 feet, a body, a brain, and a lot of the times we use that in life to fulfill our own needs, to serve ourselves. And just like the poem kind of insinuated, the woman who thought those cookies were hers was only thinking about herself and the fact that someone was taking from her. However, I'd like to propose to you as maybe a theme for your week even, is the question, how can you be of service to others? So rather than being the woman who thought that things were being taken from her and that, things belonged to her, can you become the man who is actually being quite selfless? And though this woman was taking his cookies, he even broke the last one in half and offered the half to her. So how can you go about your week and be of service to others and maybe be a little bit selfless for yourself? So putting yourself besides or behind other people, and it might just be something like a simple comment to pick somebody up, to uplift their spirits. And I'm more willing to bet that when you begin to, and I've found this in my life, put others before yourself and approach the world with the nature of how can I serve others, other people in the world, people that I don't even know, that the joy and the peace that comes from that in life can be quite more rewarding than what comes from constantly working to serve ourselves and our own interests. So I'd like to ask you, how can you be of service to anybody, whether you know them or not, this week? And just take a moment or two to reflect upon that along with the poem that I just read for you. And maybe something came up for you, or maybe it's just a thought that you have throughout the week that maybe you go out into the world looking to be of service this week and see how that fares for you. Take the next couple of moments to maybe wrap up any contemplation around that. You can always come back to it after a meditation, but we'll begin to switch gears to our Shamatha meditation. So take the next couple moments, wrap up any processing, any thinking around that. And when you're ready for our Shamatha technique, gently bring the hands to the upper thighs or the knees, and eventually peel the eyes open. Find somewhere to look on the ground ahead of you, about 3 to 6 feet in front of you, and I will start our timer for us. And with the eyes open, hands placed gently on the legs, gently begin to bring your awareness towards the feet, toward the legs and the sits bones. Allow the lower half of your body to gently rest on the ground beneath you. Allow it to sink down towards the earth. Eventually begin to lift up through the back body, stacking every vertebra one on top of another. Allow the shoulders to rest down the back body, creating space around the neck and the ears. Crown of the head lifts up towards the ceiling. Chin is parallel with the ground. Allow the arms to rest by your sides, hands effortlessly set on the legs. Soften the space around your heart, relaxing the chest, soften your belly. Notice if you tend to hold the belly in towards the spine, just let it go. And begin to relax your face, soften the forehead and the eyebrows. Relax your eyes, the cheekbones, soften your jaw. Gently float the tongue down away from the roof of your mouth. Eventually bring your awareness to your upper lip line. Can you tune into that region and begin to feel the inhales and exhales on your upper lip? It will be just a small little whisper of air brushing along the upper lip line when you breathe in and out. For a couple breaths, can you simply be with that sensation? Gently follow your awareness inwards to the nostrils now. How does the breath feel within your nose as you breathe? Take a couple moments, let yourself feel, observe the breath, let everything else go. Transition your awareness now to the back of the throat. Can you feel the sensations of the inhales and exhales as air passes through the throat as you breathe in and out? It may just be a subtle sensation. Notice what you feel. And gently lower your awareness to the chest, the heart center. On the inhales, notice the chest lift and expand. On the exhales, feel it soften and lower. Again, just be with the breath here. Feel it in this region of the body for a couple rounds of breath. Gently lower your awareness once more towards the rib cage, the area around the lungs and the belly. On the inhales, can you feel your torso expand and lift? On the exhales, it contracts and softens. Feel the whole circumference of the core of your body as you breathe in and out. And gently release this area. And for the full rounds of your inhales and exhales, can you just notice what you feel at each part of your breath? Follow the breath in and out. Notice what areas of the body you feel sensation in as you breathe. Let yourself be a witness and observer of the breath, feeling it flow in and out of your body. Noticing all the intricacies of the breath. Now, as we're here, feeling our breath, the mind will eventually think, and that is okay. We are not here to stop thought. We're here to be with ourselves, to notice what comes up, to become aware of our internal state right now. When you're here feeling the breath, there may be thoughts in the background, but you may be able to still concentrate on the breath, almost like murmurs in another room. When that happens, you'll simply let it be and stay with what you're doing. If those murmurs become loud voices and you begin to forget about the task at hand of feeling the breath, that is okay as well. But in that scenario, once you notice it, label it thinking, and simply return back to feeling the breath. Be patient with yourself. We're not here to silence the mind, but to be with it, to get to know ourselves better. Feel your breath. Be compassionate to yourself. It is only when we have love for ourselves and our practice that we can share that with others, that we can be selfless, that we can approach others in the realm of service. So take some moments, be compassionate to yourself, feel your beautiful breath flow in and out of your body, and when you get distracted, call it thinking and simply return. Take the next couple moments to practice this technique. Gently begin to draw your practice to a close. Maybe you add subtle movements in the body or deepen the breath. We'll eventually meet up with the eyes drawn closed and palms touching at heart center. Take a couple of moments to notice how you feel right now. Draw your awareness to your mind, to your head space. Notice the quality of your mind. Notice any sensations within the head space. What word describes the state of your mind right now? Draw your awareness to your body and gently give it a scan. Notice how it feels. What word describes the state of your body? And eventually tune into your emotional well-being. What emotion do you feel right now? Give yourself a smile and really thank yourself for showing up here today, for dedicating your time to your health, your life, and your practice. For it is when we take the time for ourselves, to be with ourselves, to get to know ourselves better, and to find a little self-love. It's that love that will radiate throughout the world and help us truly serve others and share our glow of love with them. So thank yourself for being here tonight. And thank you so very much for sharing your beautiful energy and practice with me and everyone else who joined in. The light in me truly honors the light in you. Namaste.